All right, guys, this video is basically a desperation attempt at this point to get something to grow in here. I am so bone dry that I've had such a difficult time with this. I am coming in here today to do some reevaluations of some of these places that I did not till, trying to see exactly how much grain I have. And if it's just a very small amount of grain, it's not worth it if I can't get a fall blend to come up underneath this. So I'm going to probably, in all reality, till this area out right here based on what I'm seeing. Because even, whatever soybean did grow in here, these are false pods. So there's actually nothing in these pods. So you may think you have something, but you actually don't. Everything else is just drying up and shriveling up and dying due to lack of rain. This ground has poor water retention. I mean, this is good to see, but won't take much for these to shatter and fall onto the ground. So you can see there's quite a few bean seeds there. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop this up because there's not even enough here to last a day. And to me, it's worth it to have something much thicker in here than just, even these okra plants here did terrible. That lets you know what type of ground I'm dealing with. This end over here, most of this has died off due to lack of rain. We have a 90% chance of rain to 100% chance of rain. And like always, I've had forecasts like this before. Go out, sow seed, and the rain completely misses us. But this time, I'm hoping that we can at least get an inch of rain. Minimum of a ½ inch, but it's so dry, I would prefer at least an inch of rain. And hopefully this is going to be the start of rain returning. So instead of blowing the leaves off from this area, I'm actually going to till them in. And I'm also adding that. So I was at the store, didn't intend to buy one or buy any bales, and they were on discount because nobody was getting them, so they were half off. So I got 3 of these, and I'm basically going to try to trick the ground here. Organic matter, especially rotting organic matter, creates heat. Well, that is something I'm desperately going to need if I'm having issues with cold air coming and seed germination. So by sowing, what I'm going to do is sow the seed on here as is, throw the straw on here, and then till all of that together and kind of mash it up in the first 2 inches of soil. And I'm going to not only create a heat generator, but a heat trap. So when these seeds try to germinate, they will encounter warm ground, and that will help these roots get stronger than just leaving it as bare soil and planting through it. So this is my kind of trick into thinking that the ground is going to be warmer than it will be. So I will be able to generate some more heat, and I'm going to try to help solve some of this organic matter problem on this back half of the island. It is so porous that I think this will be a nice help. Now, nutrition-wise, a straw bale has hardly anything in it, but I'm encouraging bacteria to feed on this, worms to feed on this. I'm just trying to get something to jumpstart the soil and try to nurse these seeds along, because I'm going to have 3 days of freezing temperatures. And then once the seeds germinate beyond that, it looks like it's going to be warm again for a little while. And I think that will buy me enough time to get a lot of this going and have something growing in here versus nothing. Like I said before, this island has to perform. It has to get me something in order to draw deer in and help feed them, especially with the nut crop being the way it is this year. Also, when I did my walk through. This over here is in the same boat. There's not enough grain in here to sustain anything of value. So all of this right here will be tilled down. And in case you're wondering, the deer vetch, which is all this green stuff here, does seed out. So if you don't like paying for expensive seed, you can collect that. It almost looks like bagger lice. So you can kind of see it there, but it does not stick to you like bagger lice from what I've seen. I've never had it on any of my clothes. You know, I can walk all through this, rub on it, and I've got absolutely nothing on me. So this seems to be ready to go. Most of the seed I've checked is done. There's a handful in here that's still kind of green, but that's okay. I want to make sure the fall blend is going to go strong in here. So the hope of having some sort of grain in here is pretty much over with. The rain shut off at the worst time, right when the cowpeas were trying to rapidly grow and produce beans. They didn't really get that chance. So most of them produce 1, maybe 2 or 3 beans. That ain't enough for anything. So the checks and balances that I do, it is much easier to just scalp all this off, replant in a fall blend, and I can gain way more tonnage that way than I can leaving this standing. And this will help with adding some rotting debris. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start dishing out some seed. Then I'm going to start with the straw bale next, and then I'm going to till. I may attempt to show you that process. You all have a good day. All right, you can now see how the island has progressed. I have went in first and scattered the seed first. I did a heavy round of seeding. I scattered seed all the way over to those little logs way over there. I intend to till all that little bit of greenery that's remaining. That will also be added as rotting biomass. Some of that seed did make as far as the deer vetch goes. And well, I'll go ahead and show you the deer vetch seed. Not a lot of people tend to plant deer vetch from what I've seen. I could be wrong, but it's just mainly because of the expense. But it does seed out and makes a lot of it. It kind of looks like bagger lice, but it does not stick to your clothes. I have walked through this multiple times to see if it would, and nothing happened. So for now, it doesn't stick to clothes, but I could be wrong. It's not going to get a chance to do much more than what it is now. So now the next step that I'm going to do is you're kind of mixing all these ingredients together, and I'm going to bring a light tilling through here, re-soften the ground because it has hardened back up due to all the heat and dry weather we've had. The seed will get another jump start. And then what I will probably end up doing is after I till, I may throw 1 or 2 more handfuls of seed out, because of the tilling method will kill some of that seed that I've put in here, because I'll probably end up burying it too deep. And who knows, with some of the straw, I think I should be good. I thought I did a pretty good job of scattering it to make a nice coating mat here. But I'll throw some extra seed in here afterwards just to make sure I don't have bald spots in here. And that will help thicken up what's going to come up in here. Trick the ground into creating extra heat for me. Hopefully, if there's any worms available in here, which I haven't seen any, they can feed on all this rotting material here. Help me to create some new soil. And this back half of the island, to me, will probably grow just as good as that spot right over here is. That is where I had all that brush pile that I burned out. all those nutrients from the trees that used to be standing here are feeding those plants, and that's why they're doing so much better than anywhere else in the island right now. But even though it looks kind of ratty and dry, I think things will change here once the rain returns. So I'm going to get off from here, and you know what, I'll film a little bit of this. If I get into issues where I'm turning in tight places, I may stop the video, but I'll try to show you something here. So hold on one second. Basically killing a dust ball. From this side. Alright, I think that's enough videoing. So you kind of see what I'm doing here, resoftening the dirt, mixing rotting organic matter in here. I can always come back with the second bale if I need to and throw some more on top, just to kind of put another cover on here if I need to. It's kind of totally up to you on how you want to handle this. But I'm going to go ahead and finish tilling this out so you got a general idea of what I'm doing. I've resoftened this soil. I'm not digging deep per se, just a couple inches, and trying to loosen this up to get this seed to work. And then I'll hopefully show you some successful germination here pretty soon. You all have a good one.